goes to Asim Razam Mirwani. Got 495 marks out of 550. Our third batch has also passed out this year with the flying colours in a federal board examination 2011. Third position goes to Mumtaz Ali Pre-Medical. Mumtaz got 928 marks out of 1100. The third prize in pre-engineering goes to Sujat Ali Bangash, got 873 marks out of 1100. Sujat Ali is receiving his prize. The second position in pre-medical goes to Adil Hasnan, got 933 marks out of 1100. Iftihar will receive his prize. The winner of the second prize in pre-engineering is Shehzad Hussain, got 877 marks out of 1100. Asad Abbas will receive his prize. The winner of the first prize in pre-medical is Mubarak Ali, got 965 marks out of 1100. Iqbal Nari is moving to receive the prize of Mubarak Ali. In pre-engineering, the first position goes to Arfan Ali, got 901 marks out of 1100. Representative is moving to receive his prize. Academics. The first prize goes to Mr. House. Hadi is receiving his prize, who is also the assistant prefect of Mr. House. Now co-curricular activities. Kirat. The winner of the first prize is Zakir Hussain from Heather House. In Naat, the winning prize goes to Ghulam Asghar Abbas Mehdi Mirani from Jinnah House. He is also the commander of Jinnah Wing. In Urdu debate, the first position goes to Muzammil Hussain from Jinnah House. Muzammil Hussain is the assistant college prefect. The winning prize in English debate goes to Salar Ayub from Nishr House. In quiz, the first position goes to Nishr House. Asim Razam Irani is receiving the prize of quiz. Now come to the extracurricular activities. First, football. The winning trophy goes to Heather House. The captain Wazir Ali Sikandar is moving to receive the trophy. The winning team of hockey is Johor House. Tokir Ahmed, the captain, is moving to receive the trophy. In volleyball, the winning trophy goes to Heather House. Afzal, the captain, is receiving the trophy. He is also the college prefect. In basketball, the winning trophy goes to Nishr House. Mohammad Hassan, the captain, is moving to receive the trophy. The winner of the drill competition is Nishr House. Salar Ayub, the commander, is receiving his prize. In athletics, the winning trophy goes to Nishr House. The captain Athar Hussain is receiving the trophy, also the maths prefect. The winning house of the cross country race is Nishr House. The captain Kacho Nadeem Ali Khan is moving to receiving the trophy. The best athlete of the year is Asif Ahmed Sheikh from Nishr House. Out of 4 houses, Nishr House has shown cumulative excellence in different fields and thus has been declared the champion house. Now I request our worthy audience to give a big hand to the prefect of Nishr House, who is coming to receive the champion trophy, Kacho Nadeem Ali Khan. The champion house of the year. Our college authorities are pleased to give Grant Achievement Award to the following faculty members who have completed 7 years with dedication and sincerity. First, I'll call Professor Naveed Haider, who is the Vice Principal of the college. Now I'll call Professor Hassan Ahmed Nakil from English Department. Now I'll call Professor Irfan Ashraf from Biology Department.
अब हम दरख्वास्त गुजार हैं मेहमान खुसूसी जनाब डॉक्टर असगर अली मौलिदीना से कि वो तशरीफ़ लाकर अपने कीमती ख्यालात से हमें नवाजें। एक सुखन और के अब रंगे तकल्लुम तेरा, एक सुखन और के अब रंगे तकल्लुम तेरा, हरफ सादा को इनायत करे एजाज का रंग।
औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला अशरफिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन खातिमिन नबिय्यीन बिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद व अला आलि तय्यिबीन ताहिरीन मज़लूमीन मासूमीन। अम्मा बाद फ़क़द क़ाल अल्लाहु सुब्हानहु व तआला क़ुरआनुल मजीद व क़ौलुल हक़ व हुवा अस्दक़ुस सादिक़ीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। वल अस्र इन्नल इंसाना लफ़ी ख़ुस्र इल्लल्लज़ीना आमनु व अमिलुस सालिहाति व तवास्सौ बिल हक़्क़ि व तवास्सौ बिस सब्र। सलवात। With the barakat of the recitation of the 103rd surah of the Holy Quran, which is our manual for this life, I take pride and pleasure in greeting Sheikh Mahsin Najfi, the Managing Trustee of the Jabir ibn Hayar Trust and the visionary who has been able to produce these outstanding institutions in this country. The Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Ijaz Haidar Zaidi, and members of the board, the Principal of Uswa College, retired Brigadier Ghulam Ali, distinguished guests, teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I was overwhelmed by the display of discipline, the coordination and the timing of the parade and the acrobatics that were displayed here. I must make mention here of the organizers who made sure that I test the heat of the day there before I come here to make sure that I shorten my time here, because I'm also facing now the heat from the back. So I assure you that I'm going to be fairly brief and just share a few thoughts that I have. This 103rd surah that I recited, I keep on reminding myself time and again that here Allah swears by time, that human beings, mankind is at a loss, except those who do good deeds and enjoin each other towards truth and patience. And I begin and ponder over this particular surah time and again, and I try to learn from what the more learned Mufassireens have commented on this surah. And they have talked about the swearing of the time, describing various phases, whether it was a time during the life of our Holy Prophet, or whether this time that where Allah is swearing applies to the short transient phase that we have on this temporary earth. Surely, to my understanding, and when I ponder over this, I begin to feel that it applies at every stage of our lives. right from the time of conception, not even before at the time of conception, but before a man or a woman decide to choose their life partners in their life. And then conception, then the pregnancy, and then those first critical 5 years when the human brain absorbs almost 80% of what is going to come through his life. He forms the attitude during those first critical 5 years. But since I'm here at a college where they are catering after the training of students from the age of 11 to 17, then as I was sitting there, another thought crept into mind, and that is why the Aimmas have said that pondering and reflecting on one ayah is perhaps better than a whole night of ibadah. And every time you read this owner's manual, the Holy Quran, you come up with different thoughts and different applications of that particular ayah. And as I was sitting there, I began now to think that perhaps that what we call the teenage life, very critically from the age of 11 to 20, is extremely critical in the life of a human being. One slip there, one mistake there, and the man or the woman's whole life is spoiled. Not only in this world, but even the akhirat can be spoiled if enough care and attention is not paid during this critical teenage life that we call. I'm glad that Uswa College is doing wonderful work in shaping the destiny of these children at this critical age. As now your 10 and first year students are now getting ready to select their career, this is again a critical time. The selection of the career is extremely important nowadays because the economic, the social conditions of the world are changing tipsy-turvy all the time. So one has to be very careful in selecting a career, and I'm sure your college have got enough facilities of career guidance to guide this young man as which career to pursue. There are today over 4,000 careers that one can pursue. What happens is, because my father was an engineer or a doctor, it comes into me that I may perhaps want to follow the same thing. But times have changed and one has to critically decide what one needs to go into. Today, there are opportunities for shorter duration of courses, a year, 2 years, which will keep the man flying in the rest of his life on this world. So one should look at those also and analyze what will be the best thing which will make him independent from others in this world as far as his sustenance is concerned. And I'm glad that you are paying very good attention to this. The name itself, Uswa, is from the ayat in the Holy Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. And that is exactly what you are trying to do. You are trying to make these young boys into role models for society and role models for Islam. Unfortunately, the examples we have in today's world of Muslims is very damaging, and it creates a very bad image of a perfect religion. The only reason being they have not gone through training in colleges like this. And I'm sure your students will be role models not only for the country, for Islam. The training of the students is a three-way symbiosis between the parents, the teachers, and the students. And I'm glad that you are having interaction with the parents from time to time in this college, which will help you to make these kids much more stronger. I was honestly amazed at the statistics that your principal presented of success in academic fields as well as in extracurricular fields in your college. I began to look and Google at Jabir ibn Hayyan, and we all know that he was the father of chemistry. He lived in the 8th century, and he was a student of our sixth Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. Not only was he the father of chemistry, but he discovered many minerals and gave them a chemical entity. He discovered so many acids. He was the one who was instrumental in developing steel, in the process of dyeing of the clothing, tanning of leather, and also he was the one who was responsible for the discovery of manganese dioxide and the elements used in prevention of rusting. So what you are quoting here is a great example, and once again, I thank the administrators of Uswa College for having given me this honor. I do not deserve this honor. In fact, when the parade commander came in front of me, Afzal, I was amazed and I was dazed and I didn't know what next step to take. But it's a learning exercise all the time. But I am a ground worker and not used to this sort of formalities, but I'm learning every day. Once again, thank you very much, and I'm extremely grateful to you for this opportunity.
ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो पासबां इसके, ये चमन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो नग़्मा ख़्वां इसके, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो पासबां इसके, इस चमन के फूलों पर रंगो आब तुमसे है, इस ज़मीं का हर ज़र्रा आफ़ताब तुमसे है, ये फ़ज़ा तुम्हारी है, बहरोबर तुम्हारे हैं, कहकशा के ये जाले रहगुज़र तुम्हारे हैं, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो पासबां इसके, इस ज़मीं की मिट्टी में खून है शहीदों का, अर्ज़ पाक मरकज़ है कौम की उम्मीदों का, नज़्म ज़ब्त को अपना मेरे कारवां जानो, वक्त के अंधेरों में अपना आप पहचानो, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो पासबां इसके, ये ज़मीन मुक़द्दस है, माँ के प्यार की सूरत, इस चमन में तुम सब हो, बरगोबार की सूरत, देखना गवाना मत, दौलते यकीन लोगो, ये वतन अमानत है और तुम हमी लोगो, ये वतन तुम्हारा है, तुम हो पासबां इसके, मेरे कारवां हम थे, रूहे कारवां तुम हो, हम तो सिर्फ उन्वां थे, اصل داستاں تم ہو، نفرتوں کے دروازے ان پہ بند ہی رکھنا، اس وطن کے پرچم کو سر بلند ہی رکھنا، یہ وطن تمہارا ہے، تم ہو پاسباں اس کے،